right. Should be up and running. Hope everyone had a nice trading day and is doing well here. We'll go over the market, interesting price action in the afternoon, and we'll go over the trades from today. We'll also talk a little bit about kind of dealing with a less than ideal morning. So kind of review the morning, if you were in the room, you were trading with me, and then kind of how the rest of the day progressed. Okay. Today, Q's down. Let's go ahead and get started. All right. Good afternoon. This is Ifan from the Strategic Day Trader, and this is your market wrap for September 2nd, 2021. Q's basically flat, was up, and now we got a sell-off in the afternoon and then bounced back to basically close flat. We came into today bullish as long as we were above this low here, 378.30. Now that we got this pullback, we'll be using today's low. I don't think they're much different. 379.15 here, and the low here, 378.30. Okay, they're a little bit different, but underneath today's low, expecting a short-term pullback. Okay, and then SPY, same thing. Okay, pullback here on the hourly to 451.90. Okay, so underneath today's low. Short-term pullback, long-term still bullish, okay? You know, we had the expectation today that as long as we stayed above this low here on the SPY, we were bullish, and we didn't really go anywhere today. You can see even SPY still up a little bit from yesterday. Yesterday, I thought the sell-off wasn't enough really to be bearish quite yet, but now we get a little bit nicer of a pivot here to work with, and so that's going to be the plan for tomorrow. IWM still looking bullish here. I don't really have anywhere right now that would be a decent pivot to work with. Maybe 224.80 because it's quite a ways away. I think I said that yesterday too on the IWM. IWM doesn't look lower in the short term either. So could the Qs and SPY bring it down with it? Yeah, but right now IWM bullish. Qs and SPY still bullish, but until we take out today's low. Okay, that's the bias for tomorrow. All right, let's go over the placement today. We'll go basically through the morning. So I thought we had some decent gap downs this morning. I liked the AI. I liked the VEEV. VEEV was gapping down. And the ASMB. Okay. So that's what I'm primarily going to be watching at the open. Now, the ASMB in the morning, I got bought, okay? We were looking at it. It was a little bit spready. I remember looking at it. I was like, I wanted to kind of calm down a little bit, and then we'll see kind of if it follows through. I think I had prepared numbers for it as a 2-minute high-low. I was going to play it. Yep, here was the 2-minute. Well, that 2-minute is a great 2-minute entry bar to play off of for me. You know, you get a tail at a little bit in either direction. That's fine. It went up instead. I'm not looking to play this long because it is such a professional gap down. Okay, so no play there. All right, so after a couple of minutes, I know ASMB is not going to be a play. We moved on to the AI, which I liked as well. AI, I was trying to get an entry in, and this was fine to play at the start. I think when I looked at it, it was a little bit too late, and at this point, I was thinking, okay, if we hold here just a little bit, I can play underneath this bar, but then it just started going, right? Because I was waiting for this bar to close maybe, and then I can play under it if it's still within the range, but then it just started to go. So then the AI kind of went without me, and then I was like, okay, if we get some kind of setup on it, I'll be happy to play. And then we got this right here, and then I was fine to play. 1 minute catches up, and I was going to play underneath this bar. So this was the first thing that got put in the box, was underneath this right here. Went up, took it out instead. So right there. Yeah. So I think, what's the numbers I have? 47.30. Oh, okay. So it was actually, let's go to the 2-minute here. So it was actually this 2-minute sell setup right here. Okay. So we get the pullback under 47.30. Must have been some spread. Okay, and then this rallied back up instead. Okay, so that was canceled. Okay, So yeah, it was like 30 minutes into the morning, and I still didn't have any plays yet. There were a couple that I felt like maybe I missed, like the AI earlier, but I was trying to wait and not rush and get into just jump into the play. So it was like 30 minutes. Then next was the Kirk. Kirk, I was going to play over high of the day. Okay, we had a base breakout here. I'll show you the gap. Here was the base breakout. Here was the gap. Here, the gap. It was pretty good. Canceling out a sell setup there. Maybe some room up to the next resistance area. Not a lot of room, but maybe, we can take a first early target and then see what else we can get out of it. Okay, and then that came in instead. So you can see after the first hour, I hadn't really gotten anything going yet. The first play ended up being the ship. Okay, so the ship triggered here, right here. Okay, ship triggered. Here's the daily. Daily's trying to break out of this range here. Okay, daily I don't really care for. Notice it's not a gap, so already it's a little bit more aggressive than some of the other ideas. And then we got triggered in. I'm playing over this space. Okay, and then it triggered, and then put in some inside bars, and then we trailed it because breakout inside bars, no follow through. Okay, on the ship. So it was kind of just felt like this morning, spinning my wheels, and couldn't really get a play I really liked. Couldn't get things to kind of find a setup that I really liked. So it was a little bit frustrating this morning, I think, to start things off, and some mornings are just going to be like that. Now the 5, I did not see this in time, although someone in the room did mention it. I just didn't see it in time. This was fine to play. Look at that 1 minute high low right there. That's good. You get a 1 minute 1 2 3 4 here. That's good too. Those at the open was good on the 5. I didn't see it, so that's fine, right? Of course, I wish I had, but like I showed you, there were already a few things I was trying to watch at the open, and you can only watch so many things at the open. Okay, so that was a little bit tough. Tried to focus on kind of scanning, not rushing, and then into the afternoon. In the afternoon there wasn't a lot. But I'm glad we at least got this SWBI. Okay, was a 5 minute base breakdown here, just as the declining 20 was catching up. Okay, and then here was the gap clearing the base there, underneath the bottom there. Okay, so 5 minute base breakdown. I think we had about a 22 cent stop. I got filled 3 cents late, so it ended up being a 25 cent stop there. 20 MA on the 5 minute catching up there. And then first target, we were looking for around 22.20 because that was low of the day. Okay, so I think we took some a little bit early just on this first close. I think around 22.25 got the bounce. Then once we broke back and got some follow through, we took another piece around 22. And then the last piece was at 2160. Yeah. So this a little bit lucky. I didn't know it was gonna bottom here, but the last portion was up around 4 hours. So at that point we have so much on the in the money there, and this trail was still like basically break even, that I just wanted to take it because I didn't think we needed to live through another pullback. So I mean, it's nice when you catch the bottom like that, when you're short something and then you cover right at the bottom. I really don't have anything. There's nothing really on the chart that said to me that had to be the bottom. Yeah, it was just a matter of reward to risk. It was just like up to an amount, and we didn't have anywhere else, I think, to trail, so I just wanted to cover. Look, 200's down there. Bottom of this green bar is 2075. I didn't think we were going to get to 2080. So, yeah, so that was why. And so that turned out okay. So that was pretty nice, the SWBI. And so, the point is not that, like, every time you have a tough morning, and it wasn't even the morning was that tough. We lost like half an hour on the ship. So, and then made a few on the SWBI. it's not that every morning that is tough. You're gonna recover in the afternoon or some point or anything like that. But it's just, sometimes you will, and I think it's sometimes hard, when you're a little bit frustrated. I was more annoyed that I just like couldn't get any plays to trigger. And then, I'm not that bothered by the ship. I think the ship is a fine play. It didn't really go anywhere. So I don't really mind too much like losing on it. I think it was more just feeling off balance this morning. And so, yeah, then you just got to kind of rescan. If you know what it is that's in your trading plan that you're looking to play, and that shows up, then give it a try. I mean, it's possible that would play the SWBI and it doesn't work. Okay, fine. Today was just a tough day. And we've talked about tough days too. Tough days, fine. If this didn't work and maybe I lost an hour in it, in the day down an hour and a half or something like that, that's fine. I can recover from that. This SWBI, I think if you took the play, you managed it as I managed it, you made a little over 2 hours, right? And so, you'll quickly like recover, whatever. Like the ship, we lost half an hour and this made 2 hours. So, that these kind of the small loss in the small loss stage, you'll recover. It's just, sometimes, so it feels great, of course, on a day like today where you kind of kept your head and then were able to kind of make something out of the day. But it's going to be like that. There's just a lot of things that can be annoying. And it's not all about just like, losing money, right? Like, just losing money is not the only annoying thing or bad thing that can happen. Missing out on plays, for some people, me included, feels much worse than like losing on a play, especially if I feel like the play is worth a try and is a good play. But even, just feeling like, okay, I'm like putting in a lot of work, like trying to identify the setups. I've already analyzed, I don't know, how many gaps do we have today? Like about 140. Yeah, about 140 gaps, went through them, figured out the favorites, and so far, I'm not like getting anything out of it. So, it's just the way it is, though. It's just how trading is. And I think, if you were with me today, I mean, you saw all that firsthand. I wasn't like cursing or like getting mad at or anything this morning, but I was just getting like annoyed. Like I'm trying to get the plays, trying to call the plays, and they're just not triggering. So, yeah, I had recover a little bit from that. And then, turned it around by the afternoon. So that was the day. All right. So yeah, kind of a long day. It felt like kind of a tiring day, slow start, but then, it got better. So, yeah, we'll see. I think, with the earnings season basically over, there's going to be still some reporting tonight, but none tomorrow. And then we have the long weekend up ahead. And then we're, going to be deep into the summer doldrums. There are going to be some days like this, a little bit like, there's not a lot to do, some fits and starts, and sometimes we just have to be patient. Okay. So, be prepared for that. All right. Hope you did well. We'll be back at it tomorrow, and I will talk to you then. Have a good evening.